by Devon Graham, the Black Airbender.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can, yes.
Okay,
Just
perfect.
for legal reasons, it's I have to tell you that we're being recorded.
Okay, yeah,
Mhm.
all good.
So how are you today, brother?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Awesome. Thanks for joining. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
The weather looks lovely down there, and you're looking very prim, proper, and happy and healthy right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We barely get any warm weather out here, so, it's starting to heat up.
Yeah, I love it. How come you're giving yourself the name the Black Airbender? Where did that come from? That's kind of interesting.
The Black Airbender, I got it I just mixed the Avatar, The Last Airbender, and I just put the Black Airbender in there. Yeah, so my main work is breath work. So I wanted to have a unique name, and I wanted to stick with that.
Yeah, it's definitely unique. I love your Facebook posts. That's, I think, how you came into recently to my Facebook. I didn't know you for a long time. Then I added you, I think, and I saw your posts. I love them. They're very unique and special, and you do them very different to other people. I like that. I like that about
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's interesting, and Instagram as well. So you said something about breath work there, and you did say up there that your primary focus is breath work.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get to breath work, actually, can I ask you how you got into the health community? Is there some kind of accident or trauma that you went through, or was it just
Yeah, so a couple years ago, I was a big entrepreneur in the crypto world, and I had a business partner, and basically I lost everything to that business partner. So on the way back home, I was already into the whole quote unquote meditation and spiritual world, but I didn't really get too deep into the health world until I met my Sifu, who I can't name right now. And on the way back when I lost everything and I met up with him, he got me into fasting. I was already doing fasting, but the extent that he wanted me to do it, before we even got to the first breathwork session, which was 2 hours, by the way.
Whoa, yeah.
Yeah. and he said, the reason why we do this is because, so I was training into getting in the state of Bigu. And Bigu is a form of, quote unquote, the Chinese breatharianism, as one would see it. But if you really go deep into Bigu, it's not to get you to the point of breatharian. It's to get you to the point of feeling more in terms of energy, so you won't need sustenance.
Right.
Of heavy density foods of that nature. So I spent a few weeks with him and a few months, and then when I got back home, I did a 30-day fast at a retreat, and the retreat didn't post as breatharian or whatever, but the main thing was you had to focus on a meditation while you do the fasting, or you got kicked out. So I focused mainly with pranayama, and that was my main thing. And then afterwards, I found myself slowly getting off solid foods and more into liquids. And then it's been 272 days as of right now since I went from 80% liquid to 100% liquids.
Whoa, so 272 days, nothing, no solid foods, you're saying?
No solid foods.
Whoa, you're still here, brother. How come your skin looks so good, and how come you're still alive and thriving?
And I'm actually still growing in mass. I was actually going to take a trip to Cali to get tested, but I'm still growing in mass, which is another interesting feature. So I found that interesting too. And I don't even do weights. I just mainly do calisthenics, and that's about it.
That's crazy to me that you've been doing that long. That's nearly a year, isn't it? 272 days. Yeah, that's
almost a year.
Wow. How does one get the motivation to do such a long period without breaking it?
Well, the breath work was the main thing that really helped me. It really helped me just make that huge shift, because the more you did breath work, the more your body just wants to be hydrated. Because when I work with certain people, I don't even force diet on them. They just want to get hydrated naturally, and then they ask me, the little stuff here and there, and then I just help them on the way. I don't even force it on them.
Yeah, I see. Just let it flow and go with your motivations or whatever's to you. Do you work with people that are a little bit not as disciplined? Maybe do you just help them in terms of just like working where they're at and just go slower? Then
Yeah, basically, I meet them wherever they're at. I help with fighters, even interesting physicists that don't believe in the whole spiritual aspect, and then when they
Mm.
feel the energy of the breath work themselves, they're like, oh, okay, this is a little bit different. So I meet you wherever you're at, no matter how advanced you are. I meet you where you're at. Even Qigong masters, I've had the pleasure of working
Wow.
with, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's another great topic. And energy work. You're talking about energy work too. I'm very much into the power, getting better at. Not a master yet, but I love energy and like the power of the human body. And I guess as well, breath work will be more powerful in a faster state and when you're on liquids compared to solids, because solids weigh us down, don't they? They take our energy.
Right. Yeah.
I feel
And and
lazy,
that
lethargic. Hmm.
and that was the main thing that really pushed me towards just going 100% liquids, because I felt the densities is getting in the way of my breathing.
Yeah.
It really got in the way of that. So that's when I just committed. I was like, why am I fighting at this point when I just feel everything.
Yeah. That's crazy. What kind of breath works do you do? What do you do? Root pranayama or
Uh,
explore?
so I created something called Alchemy breathwork,
Mhm.
and going back to the story in terms of what I did with pranayama, and I mixed some of Nikola Tesla's teachings, and I mixed what I learned in Bigu, and I put them all into one. And that's where Alchemy breathwork comes in. So it's not just where people do breathwork and go on throughout their day. It's bringing that breathwork with them throughout the day as well, and
Oh,
reprogramming the subconscious, because the breath goes deep into traumatic states of the body, and releases many different parts of stress in the whole body, and that's how you can really reprogram your whole subconscious over and over and over again.
yeah, that's powerful. You just said, and also you said something really key there. It's like you said, it's not even like a specific time to do breath work, which is cool. You're saying you're doing it like 24/7, pretty much, some kind of breath
Pretty
work.
much, yeah.
Hmm, that's interesting. It's almost like I'm learning mindfulness. It's not just
Hmm.
meditation. That's cool, but you should do mindfulness like outside your life because there's always breath. As long as there's breath, you can mess about with energies, breath,
Hmm.
and mindfulness, right?
Big time.
Mm, very interesting. So what kind of highs do you get from these do you get are you because would you be doing them because you feel so energetic from them? Is there purification? Does it does it go like you said earlier, it goes through to the subconscious? Are you removing traumas? Is it doing all of these things? The breath work?
So if someone is just getting into breath work, it would be more of shedding off trauma in
Mm,
that sense. But the deeper you go, the more psychedelic it becomes in itself, because
mm,
70% of the blood is where the lungs are at, and that is where it's produced DMT. Not a lot of people know that, but the lungs produce DMT.
mm, mhm,
So you can have really some psychedelic trips the higher you go into breath work.
mm,
And some people may have what they call rebirthing. They might remember their birth all at once,
mm,
and that's how deep you can go into traumatic states
mm.
with the breath.
Yeah, that's crazy what you just said there. I'm being reminded myself of my own journey that I go in and out of breath work because I'm in and out of a lot of things. I'm committing to mindfulness, but I think I need to get back into breath work. I think everybody does. I think everybody into like and not just a little bit, like you said, like 5 minutes a day something's better than nothing. I mean, yeah, 24 4. Oh, it's gone off again. I think. There you go. Yeah, we can definitely go deep with breath work. It's a fascinating topic. I think everyone should get into. How would you suggest someone starting out and new to breath work? Would you suggest to go slow or to go full on?
um, yeah, you can. It really depends on you. A nice little thing I could give you in terms of athletic work and breath work is, let's say you run or you play basketball, because I've had clients that are athletes, and you can do what I call 369 breathing. So you
Mm,
would inhale only with the nose 3 times, exhale 3 times, inhale 6 times, exhale 6 times, inhale 9 times, or exhale 9 times.
okay,
And when you're
seconds, right? So 3 seconds, 3 seconds, 6 seconds, 6 seconds, 9 seconds, 9 seconds.
and and here's the big focus.
Mhm.
So alchemy, we don't really focus on seconds or holding. We go more based off feeling.
Mm,
So in terms of three, you would inhale three, so it'd be,
mm,
and exhale three.
mhm,
So if you can find yourself doing that the whole day, it becomes really psychedelic in itself.
Interesting. And I guess it will be easy once you get into routine of it. Like maybe the beginning's a bit hard.
When you're running, that's one of the best times to really try it out too, because I find runners last longer while doing the 3s and the 6 and the 9s, but mainly with the 3s with running. If you're playing like a sport like volleyball or basketball, 6 is a really good one. Tennis is 9. Tennis is perfect for 9 because when you're playing tennis, 9 is more of a slow pace breath too, because it gets you into a sort of focus too, because when you're tennis and you're playing with somebody, you got to think of how you're gonna aim the racket or have a certain trajectory. So 9 is great for slow pace sports.
Could you demo a 9 for us quickly, so I get an understanding, so I can mess about with it too?
Yeah. So 9 is literally. Nine.
And repeat. Okay.
And repeat over and over and over.
It's weird synchronicity. I was just watching Luke's story podcast. He did a live, and I went on the Facebook Live, and he was doing a Kundalini yoga thing, which was hands like this, really hard without touching, but at the same time doing the nose thing that you just done. It was 8 times, I think. So it was doing that 8 times and out 8 times, and that with the hand thing for like 12 minutes or 3 minutes, and it gets you in a really big high, he said. And
it does. And you can also add what you were saying with the hand thing. I call it thunder breathing. And thunder, because when you clap, it sounds like a thunder. And this is actually an ancient form of Qigong that not a lot of Qigong people even know. I had one session with a Qigong master, and then he did his own research afterwards, and he found out it's an ancient form of Qigong that they don't practice today, which is really interesting. It's really weird. Because he found himself making the energy ball a lot faster than he would going like this or going like that or going like that. He found himself making it a lot faster, clapping, and then doing the energy work afterwards.
Yeah, this is fascinating. I love all this stuff. Wow, this is truly it. I think breath work is the foundation for all things. I love we're chatting about it, and I'm being reminded on the importance of how important it is to get yourself to breathe properly. Because I feel like in society we're not taught how to breathe properly, and stress knocks us out of pace with the realities of who we are, and then it lowers our vibration when we stop breathing properly. So
yeah, and just clapping alone, if you guys can clap for like 15 minutes a day, you'd be surprised how much stress level that brings.
That's a good one. Master of Earth, I think, was big on clapping for a while. He kind of made it popular in the community. So yeah, that's a really good one to do. Clapping. I used to do it. Yeah, I've fallen off that as well. So should get back on clapping too. Yeah, let's transition from breathwork to other stuff that you want to talk about. Urine therapy. I didn't know you were doing urine therapy, but you told me how fair you were. So how did you get into urine therapy? Because it's quite controversial.
Oh yeah, it is. How did I get into it? I was reading some type of Hindu book about it, and it just made sense, because in my whole psychological thinking, no other when I was getting deep into the breatharianism life, no other person has touched the water that you're producing, and I heard growing up too that it's a great fertilizer. So all these things came together, and it just made sense to me. No other person has touched your own water. And when I got into Oregon water, it made sense in terms of how the water, to me, it's structured. It has to be structured because it comes out the body, and it has whatever resonance you were having in your body, it produces. And that's why I guess it's also best to have at room temperature or whatever temperature you're having it at when it comes out of you.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, structured water for sure. Yeah, because a lot of people aren't open-minded even. They can't hear the message because it doesn't resonate with them, because they're not at that level in terms of where they are at in their journeys to accept that something they've been told out as a baby is actually not like waste, because somehow we learn as a baby and kid it's a waste product. I don't know who told us that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's also produced in the fetus too. You're literally doing urine therapy in the fetus.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yes, thank you. Yes, you are. Yeah, we all are. And then people are like, but I don't want to do it now. But you did it as a baby. You needed it. You needed it and you did it. Like, you wouldn't be here without it. Like,
Exactly, and it's literally stem cells as well. That's another thing.
mm-hmm.
Um, and another plus was technology that's actually using urine to produce electricity.
Didn't know that. Tell us
Yeah,
more.
there's technology out there that uses urine to produce electricity. So when I saw that, so I was like, all right, so there's electrons in there as well.
Yeah,
This is all makes sense. And
yeah.
then that's when I dove in deep.
Yeah. When you say deep, what are you messing with? Are you doing fresh every day? Are you drinking and massaging it in, or?
Um, yeah, I do fresh every day, especially in the morning time since it's the most potent.
Yeah.
And after breath work, that's one of the best times to do it as well because think of I don't know if sexual Tao books touch on it at all, but after sex, urine is great to drink too because it's the only time where you'll have certain enzymes in the urine that's good for your sperm production.
Mm,
It's good for re-electrolyzing the spine.
mm,
And when you're having sex, your every 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 part of your body is is awakening. It's literally turning the ignitions on. It's turning the
mm,
engines on every part of your body because every part of your body in your minds, in your body, in your psychology,
mm,
deep down in your subconscious, your body is thinking you're making a baby, you're making a baby, you're making a baby. So it's
mm,
gonna need every inch of energy from your whole body to
mm,
produce a baby.
mm,
And for someone like me that practice semen retention, when all that energy shoots up back your spine, it also hits the bladder as well, hits certain parts of your body. So when it's time to piss,
mm,
certain electrons and certain pathogens and um, certain microorganisms, it's still within your pee, and it's great to drink, and thus it'll help again testosterone, sperm production, HGH. I think HGH definitely goes through the roof after sex when you pee it out.
Oh, I didn't know that. Cool. Interesting.
Yeah.
I know that's from fasting. Fasting makes AGH grow crazy high, then it comes
Right.
out in the urine. So, yeah, that's a good one for sure. Hmm. I was also going to ask about seam retention because you're doing seam retention. I love seam retention, man. It's the best. So you're saying seam retention makes the urine even more potent?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Because your semen is being rejuvenated in the body anyway.
Yeah.
And then I guess we can go to the next topic
Mm.
about dry fasting.
Oh yeah, let's. So urine therapy's cool. That's one of my favorites of all time. Also, dry fasting too, which you do. Funny enough. So yeah, what's your opinion or experience with dry fasting?
So you were saying that dry people who do dry fasting do urine therapy,
I did.
right?
I know this for a fact. I made a video on it because I had an experience, which other people have had, that of being thirsty on a dry fast, only after I peed out all of my urine and didn't take it back in. So I was fine. I was hydrated 50 hours into a dry fast,
Hmm.
and then went to pee out everything because I forgot to put it back on my skin like I didn't normally do. And as soon as I peed it out, I noticed I was really thirsty. I was like, why am I thirsty? Oh, I know why. Because I just peed out all my urine. It's almost like there's a thermostat in my bladder or my body telling me you've just lost your liquids, your urine that we need. Now you're thirsty. I was like, damn.
Exactly.
So that's my reference proof that
Yeah.
yeah, all dry fasters are at a certain point. I think 24 hours, 30 hours in, if you're dry fasting. Although I think even 16 hours, very small amounts. Everyone's doing urine therapy. They just don't know you're doing it. That's the
Hmm.
crazy thing.
So here's a breatharian approach to that, and why I totally agree with you. If
Cool.
you look at one of the greatest specimens to look at, Pralajani, which was
Mm,
a breatharian who hasn't eaten or drinking for over 70 plus years, and he's been medically um, documented for doing so. They checked his bladder, they checked everything, but when
mm,
they checked his bladder, they
mm,
saw the urine in his bladder got reabsorbed right back into the body.
Hmm.
And one of the main things he says that is keeping him alive is this nectar that opens a hole on the roof of his mouth, and it comes down as a golden liquid, and he retakes that into the body, and thus he doesn't really need anything outside the body. So what I think what's happening is
Mm.
the urine that's getting reabsorbed, and semen retention as well, getting reabsorbed into the spine, is going up the spine,
Mm.
back into the cerebral cortex. The air that he breathes in creates those enzymes that hits the uh, behind your tonsils, behind what's it?
Thyroid? Thyroid?
Yeah, behind around the thyroid. There's a gland behind there that even scientists to this day don't even
Mm.
know what it's for. But when
Mm.
that gland secretes, that
Mm.
gland pushes more enzymes into the tongue.
Mm.
But in his instance, when he reached such high states,
Mm.
those enzymes go straight into back into the cerebral cortex, into the brain, and then pushes out that liquid from the pituitary gland. And then
Mm.
that's how he gets his quote unquote sustenance, his food. And then that's a whole cycle in his body.
Yeah, I like that. I think I've watched a YouTube clip of that guy. Yeah, he doesn't. It's proven. Science has proven he reabsorbs the urine. Doesn't pee out at all. So he
No, he
just keeps
doesn't pee out at
reabsorbing.
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you think about it, for when we dry fast, we don't pee. It comes dark, but we don't pee out as much, which makes sense because you're not taking in any water. But then, if why are we peeing out in the first place from dry fasting is my question. It's an open-minded question. I'm not criticizing anything. Just like we do pee out something. So yeah, I feel like we can totally reabsorb pretty much a lot of it if we just. And one thing I've been practicing before, which I need to get back on, is not peeing out as much when I dry fast. I think you can train yourself to
Yes.
not pee out as much and to reabsorb even more than normal.
I found myself doing that when I do dry fast now, because the breath
Mm.
work has helped me understand that with the tongue as well,
Mm.
there's some secretion that comes from your sacred area, girl, male or girl. It still goes up into the spine, depending on
Mm.
how long you're doing it, or if those channels are open in the spine. There's still some liquid that still goes up the spine into the tongue and into those enzymes. That's what's being created.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Do you feel like, because when I was doing the first thing, the dry fasting, the first comes in my mouth when I'm doing it for a long time. So you're saying it's the tongue, is it, that's making us thirsty? It's this area that needs to be hydrated properly. This one.
Yeah, and a great nugget that I'll put out there is sucking on the tongue.
Hmm. Okay. Never heard that.
Sucking on the tongue.
Suck it. So okay. Wait. So when you're in a dry fast, you're really feeling really thirsty. Just suck on your tongue, and you'll
Suck
feel
on
like.
your tongue, because
Hmm.
those glands those glands haven't those glands have been dormant. Even though we talk a lot, we have it resting always. Those
Hmm.
glands have been dormant. We need to really stretch those glands, and you'll find yourself, you know, depending on what kind of kundalini or energy work you do, those glands will get opened up during dry fast if you're doing the work.
Hmm.
You'll taste there's a different metal there's like a metallic taste in your mouth,
Hmm.
and when that's what happens when those glands are activated.
Hmm.
And it activates for me when I do breath work, because I definitely taste it. And
Hmm.
I've had some experience when I've led breath work with somebody that they call me back and be like, "What's that taste in my mouth? Like, it's really really different
Hmm.
because you haven't really stretched out your tongue
Hmm.
to
Yeah.
really activate those glands that's been dormant um, to do the work in terms of activating those enzymes as well."
Yeah.
So a great tip to exercise the tongue is really suck on the tongue, especially during dry fasting.
That is fascinating information that I'm gonna try when I get that thirsty feeling, which we all get like in 30, 50 hours into dry fast,
Hmm.
2, 3 days, and you're like, oh shit, it sucks. And you got to break the fast with water, which is not bad. I know, good water, but you're like, I should try not to. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a huge nugget.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. I did want to ask you about the, because I've seen you in photos on Instagram, and I can see it right now behind you. You've got some kind of amazing thing going, a pyramid, you said, going on there.
Yeah, the I call it the Orgon pyramid because
Okay.
it's not just copper. On top you can see some tensor rings.
Tensor rings, cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
put tensor rings to just amplify everything,
Nice.
and that's just a beginning product. I have some
Yeah.
crazy things that I want to do to it.
Cool, brother. How much did it cost to make? Was that a cheap make for you, or was it quite expensive
Yeah,
to you?
yeah, it didn't cost too much. It's affordable.
Mm. And
Not
the
too much.
energy shifts are probably pretty powerful, right? Can you feel the
Yeah,
difference?
yeah,
Mm.
big time. I bring it to different retreats and stuff. And
Mm.
um, if if someone's not experiencing whatever they're supposed to be experiencing when they come under here, they said, after all we did, I've experienced more under here than than what we did out there.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
that's been some funny feedback.
Yeah. Do you sell them? Do you sell that stuff?
No,
Yeah.
I don't sell them.
Okay, cool. Do you have it? Do you have a website, or you offer your services, I'm pretty sure, right? To people?
Yeah, everyone can find me on Instagram as the Black Airbender,
Hmm.
and on Facebook you can find me as Devon Airbender or Devon Graham.
Yeah.
And my books are on Amazon. Black Air Alchemy for
Oh, do you
conscious
know you have
breathers.
books? Whoa,
Yeah,
whoa. Tell us your book names, please. Black Alchemy, you said, first one?
yeah, Black Air Alchemy for conscious breathers
Oh,
and alchemists, and air mantras.
air mantras. Oh, brother, I'm gonna support you and buy your books and promote them.
Oh,
That
thank
sounds
you,
very
thank
interesting.
you.
I love. It's not even spoiler community. I do like spoiler community, but I know that people like yourself have great information that I want to read and I can assimilate into my being. I like learning from people all sorts, but books really do it for me because I get time to spend with your best version of you, and I can really assimilate that knowledge. Because this is great, but sometimes in videos I forget, like YouTube's and stuff, I forget what people say because there's so much going on, so I have to rewatch them. But the books, I'm like, that's my tool. But yeah, just a quick one. What was the Black Airbender? Is the first you said Black Airbender is
Yeah,
the first?
yeah, the Black Air Bender on Instagram.
Okay. Oh, no. I mean, your book
Oh,
names. The book
oh,
name.
the book, yeah.
Yeah.
Black Air Alchemy for conscious breathers and alchemists,
Okay.
and the second one is Air Mantras.
Right. Okay. Air mantras and Black Alchemy for conscious breathers. Got it.
Yeah.
That's awesome, brother. Yeah. Before we go though, I would love to get your opinions on what is the most powerful health protocols for you. I'm pretty sure I know we're gonna say breath work and stuff, right?
Yeah, it starts out with the breath. Everything starts out with the breath. If you can, I don't care what meditation you do,
Mm.
but if you can, the first thing in the morning, before you drink water, before you drink anything, take a shower, anything,
Mm.
do some type of meditation.
Right.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's because everything outside of us is it helps us, it just stimulates, and we lose the feeling state of, you know, the in depth core that is us, right?
Yeah.
So everything else is just adage,
Mm.
unnecessary adage. So when you do the work without any external adage, the internal will radiate more than what you need. So we have everything we need inside of us versus
Yeah.
the external.
Yeah, that's powerful. Meditation, I think, is something that I wasn't good. I was on and off it for the longest time till last August. I found transcendental meditation, and then I went to Vipassana, and now
Mm.
I'm integrating both of them in my life. And yeah, without meditation, I mean, I used to think it was okay not to do both and not to get away with it now as a physical health guy, but I realize now that it's really, I think physical health is great, but I think there's limitations that Vipassana meditation can give me, and other meditation can give me, can go dig deeper than even fasting for, because I fasted for a long time, and I just found that there's limitations to those things in terms of healing your unconscious. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, meditation is absolutely key, and I'm 100% agree with you, brother, on that. Before you
Yeah.
go as well, how's the situation? It's a bit of a just most seems a random question to people, but I just want to know your opinions on corona. What's going on with the corona, like in your area? How is life and how is coping?
For I feel like people who are doing the inner work, life hasn't really changed.
Mm. Hmm.
Now people who haven't been doing the inner work, they really have to face themselves.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. I feel like there's something bigger going on than they're telling us.
Mm.
I think it's more than just a virus, and I
Mm.
think it's more than 5G itself too. I think
In
it's
a good
way
or a
bigger.
bad way? Are you thinking it's going to go good?
Um, I think it's both, in my
Mm.
opinion, both,
Mm.
really
Yeah.
both. And in terms of energy shift, we have one of this the the global shift, this quote unquote virus.
Mm.
One can say, all right, the stress level is way up there, but as natural law, there's always going to be a balance no matter what. So if the stress level is all the way up there, anything that's the opposite of stress is all the way up there too. So the energy is
Hmm.
both heightened. You just have to take control of it. You know, it's already there.
Yeah, I like that. And I feel like sometimes we only learn from suffering, from our own journeys, and sometimes other people are going to have to suffer to wake them up, to wake up the planet, so we can start making massive changes, and everyone starts waking up. So I think it's a good thing. If it goes really bad, in my opinion, there can only be good to come out of this. There is no bad
Yeah,
to
there
come
is
out
no
of this
doubt.
situation. Right?
I
And if
love
we die, we die. You know,
that.
it's no big deal to me.
We'll just play the game all over again.
Exactly, brother. Yeah, you're on my wavelength. Yeah, yeah. It's just a cosmic game of fun and games and duality, and let's have a bit of a laugh and joke and take it. You know, loved ones might die, but no one really dies here. It's all a bit of fun and games.
Yep.
So yeah, on that note,
Energy never dies.
yeah, exactly. So your Instagram is the Black Airbender. Your
Yes.
books are Air Mantras and um,
Black Hair Alchemy.
Black Air Alchemy. Okay, I remember that one. Black Air Alchemy. People can find your Facebook because I'll post this up for your Facebook too, so people can see. And if they want to contact you as well, you do take clients. Do you take clients one to one around your area?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if
Yeah.
anyone's
Yeah,
yeah,
you can inbox me, and I even have a group of conscious breathers that we go in depth more than just breath work. So
cool. Is that a Facebook group you've got there?
no,
Or
no,
no?
it's an Instagram group, but now it's actually I actually did make a Facebook group now because
Okay, so
it's been
conscious
in
breathing.
high demand.
Yeah, I can imagine. Breathworks. I think breathworks. There's a couple of things: semen retention, aged urine therapy, and breathwork are going to kick off in the next decade. So you're onto something with what you're doing right now.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This was H. Madine, listening of Harry with Devon Graham.
Thank you all for sharing your breath.
Yeah. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Peace.